Strange, the girl saw the number 1 appearing behind the pedestrians on the street. She came to the restaurant for a blind date. The blind date is just about to leave. Numbers also appeared out of thin air behind it. But instead of 1, just as Mizuki was puzzled, a handsome guy walked over. Remember me, my name is Ida. We accidentally collided yesterday. You touched my hand, I infected you with my powers.
見えたでしょ、数字。それ、あと3回会えるってことですよ。あなたが人生でその人に会えるのは、あと3回。
はい。
Only then did Mizuki react. No wonder pedestrians on the street are behind one, but I still couldn't believe it. She hurried to the company. My colleagues don't have numbers on their backs. Only one male colleague has the number 2 on his back. He told Mitsuki that he quit. Today is his last day at work. I will go through the resignation procedures next week. Mizuki believed in this superpower. The next day, it's the day to meet the blind date again. The two of them chatted very speculatively. The man said that Mizuki was his thing. Mizuki also had a good impression of him. You can see that the number behind the other party has become 2. In other words, counting this time I'll see him again in my life, they're not going to work out. Mizuki was a little unwilling. Is this how fate is arranged? What if you forcibly change your destiny against heaven? On this day, she stayed downstairs in the men's company. Make an appointment with her tomorrow. The other party was stunned. Then readily agreed. The next day Mizuki arrived at the appointment place early, but the man never showed up. She contacted the other party again, but the other party suddenly blocked her. Also posted a circle of friends. I met a woman recently. I've only met twice and you want to sleep with me. What a shit. If she comes to me again, I'll just... Now you believe it. At this moment, Ida appeared again.
沙織と共に映っちゃうみたいで、この前ぶつかって手つかんだし、まあ安心してください。そっちのはそのうち元に戻りますから。
Before the ability disappears, why don't you think about how to make good use of this ability? Her words woke Mizuki up in the next work. When recruiting employees for the company, she doesn't even have to evaluate it. Just look at the numbers behind it and know who to admit. Mizuki wants to change jobs to a big company. As long as you see the number behind the interviewer as 1, she never talks nonsense. Leave immediately on a blind date. See the number 3. She knew this relationship wouldn't last. Sure enough, during the 3rd meeting, the other party sent me a message that you are a good person. But I don't deserve it.
なんかコツ掴んできた。1の数字になればそれが最後の1回。この人と先がないって分かれば思い入れずに済むってことでしょ?
Not bad. This ability. Hearing Mizuki's words, Rongtian wanted to speak but hesitated. At this moment, Mizuki received a phone call. After hanging up, he told Rongtian, the father I haven't seen in years, you're suddenly coming to see me tomorrow. When I was young, he divorced my mom for cheating. My mom's gone, I don't have anything to talk to him. Mizuki has a hatred for her father, don't want to meet. Rongtian supported her to meet her. I also recommended a barbecue restaurant. The next day, Mizuki met her father. Father greeted him with a smile. Mizuki AI ignored her. It was embarrassing at one time. Miue still can't forgive her father for cheating back then, until she saw the number behind her father's back. After the awkward chat, her father gave her 2 mints. It was your favorite food when you were a kid.
仕事しっかりやれよ。
So goodbye, looking at my father's back leaving, thinking that I can only see you twice in my life. Mizuki let go of all the complaints in her heart.
今日の仕事なくなったみたい。もう一杯飲む?
In the tavern, Mizuki seemed to tell her father, be sure to check your body regularly. Regarding my daughter's sudden change in attitude, my father was confused and nodded repeatedly. I promised to pay attention to my health, then happily took out one. The cigarette was snatched by Mizuki, although I can't get over the smoking addiction, but he was really happy this night.
じゃあ今の奥さんってその時の浮気相手じゃないの?
そっちには振られた。
何それ?
The second game is over, both of them drank a lot, it's time to say goodbye. Father said goodbye and was leaving. Mizuki stopped him, puzzled. Didn't you say you came to Tokyo? Do you have something to say to me?
何にもない。そう言わないとお前会ってくんないだろ。
I just saw my father off. Mizuki turned around and saw Ida. Ida invited her for a walk. Mizuki told him, I am busy with life every day, lost my dream. I was 30 years old in a blink of an eye, constant blind dates, just looking for a partner to stay with forever. No matter how hard the life is, I also have the motivation to hold on. Because of superpowers, Rongtian never dared to have a long-term relationship with others. He kept changing jobs, changed city life. As long as you see the number 3 on the other person, I knew it was time to leave. Mizuki had a doubt.
でも定義は遠くから見かけても会う? スカイプでも会う?
僕が楓さんを認識する。楓さんも僕を認識する。それが合う。
じゃあ今会ってる?
うん、合ってる。
じゃあさ、会ってそのままずーっと一緒にいた場合、回数が減らないってこと? もし数字が残りの1になっても、そのままずーっと一緒にいた。
寝る。朝が来ると、一回いる。
なんだ、裏技見つけたかと思ったのに。
The two chatted until dawn. Mizuki looked at Ida. There are no numbers behind it. She was relieved. Ida silently looked behind Mizuki's back. His expression was a little sad. The next day, Mizuki was surprised to find out there are numbers behind my best friend. After questioning, my best friend said frankly, she started saving money years ago, want to study abroad, pursue your dreams. I kept it a secret because I didn't want Mizuki to be sad. But it's okay, even if I go abroad, we'll see each other again. Looking at the number 1 behind my best friend, Mizuki understood. This farewell is farewell forever. After experiencing my father and best friend, Mizuki felt very lonely. She realized that she had the ability to predict, can socialize ineffectively, but you can also feel the pain of loss in advance. She finally understood. Why did Rongtian choose to leave after seeing the numbers? When you see the end at a glance, we'll also lose expectations for the future. I can only wait silently for my fate to come. Watching the countdown gradually return to 0. On this day, Mizuki saw Ida sneaking around, squatting at the gate of a kindergarten. He's trying to abduct children. It turns out, Ida accidentally transmitted his ability to a little boy, in order not to panic the other party. He explained everything to the kid, but he was still a little worried, so watched the boy's behavior. Then the boy saw the numbers on his classmates' backs. He knew he was going to say goodbye to his favorite classmate, so he took his classmates and quietly ran out of the kindergarten.
逃げたよね。
ああ、
The two hurriedly chased after them, found them in the park next to the kindergarten.
お引っ越ししちゃうの？うん。わかんないちゃう。
At an early age, we have to face cruel parting. The two decided to help the boy. With the consent of parents. Take the two children to the dining room, help them finish the final farewell gift together. Looking at the number 2 behind my classmate, the boy tried to blow it away, but it's only in vain with the joint efforts of several people. A cake is finished. Rongtian helped the boy record this happy moment. At the end of school the next day, the girl is leaving. He didn't know that this would be the last time he saw him.
また遊ぼうね。バイバイ。また遊ぼうね。絶対。うん。また遊ぼうね。バイバイ。またね。バイバイ。
Looking at this scene, Rongtian felt that he had done something bad. If I hadn't transmitted my ability to the boy will always look forward to the next meeting. And now he is afraid to say goodbye. Mizuki comforted him. Compared with being reluctant to part, a simple farewell is more neat. That night, Mizuki received a phone call. My grandmother in my hometown had an accident. He was taken to the hospital by ambulance. It's too late now. There is no Shinkansen. Rongtian put down his work, drive her back to her hometown overnight. Since mom died, Mizuki and her grandmother lived together. She couldn't accept her grandmother's urging to marry. I often don't answer my grandma's phone calls. I always think there will be another time. If anything really happens to grandma, she'll feel guilty for the rest of her life. I didn't know until I arrived at the hospital. Grandma just fell down and accidentally broke her arm. Nothing else is serious.
そんだけ？
そんだけって。
You still want me dead? Mizuki hurriedly pulled her grandmother, confirmed there are no numbers behind it. Only then did I feel relieved, although it was just a false alarm. But my grandmother will always leave me one day. If it weren't for you, I didn't even realize it. These words inadvertently gave Rongtian courage. You have this superpower. You can also worry about gains and losses for the present time. That's great. I want to believe in the future. Trust me to see you all the time, but we don't have much left. What are you talking about? There's number 3 behind us. Since Rongtian was born, you can see everything about everyone. He has experienced countless partings. At first, he had hope for the future. But no matter how many happy times there were before, how many reluctances and retentions have been there, eventually we'll say goodbye to these people. He no longer has expectations for the future. When he first met Mitsuki, just know they only had 13 times between them. After meeting each other several times, he finds himself in love with Mitsuki. This time he didn't escape, regardless of being separated, slowly used time and getting along to narrow the distance between them. Mizuki also fell in love with Ida. But now we have to face a cruel fact. Grandma learned that Rongtian worked in a restaurant. I hope he can replace himself at the temple fair. Rongtian agreed. Let's eat ingredients together. But at the end of the day, Ida didn't say a word with a cold look. The next day, looking at the sad number 2, Mizuki sat on the side sadly.
だって知ってたんだもんね。ずっと分かってたんだもんね。ってことはそっちから離れるってことだもんね。私にはもう会わない理由なんて。
For the first time, maybe for the last time, close this door. Tomorrow is the last time we see each other. Mizuki didn't sleep all night, get up early, but when she opens the door, facing the last meeting, Rongtian is gone. Just leave a note.
逃げんな。
Rongtian chose to meet for the last time. Save it until an unknown time in the future. Somewhere, as long as I know in my heart I will see you again, you will be full of expectations for the days ahead. Five years later, Miue became a famous food program director and started his own family.